was coming through grass, and there's fish out there, I guess. There's one. Please tell me I'm recording. Yeah, holy smokes, this thing feels like a moose. There we go. Yo-yo on the lipless. First. He's digging. Another 2-pounder.
What's happening, fishing friends? Welcome to another episode. Tonight we're reviewing a reel that I've received a lot of questions about. It is the Lew's Mach Smash Baitcaster. As always with my reviews, I will give you an up-close look at the reel and we'll discuss all the features. We'll discuss how this reel compares to some of the other similar reels on the market. And finally, I will discuss what I feel are the pros and cons from using this reel for the whole past year and kind of let you know what I think in conclusion. So let's go over to the tabletop and get a closer look at this. All right, the Lew's Mach Smash. This is a $99 reel. Very popular category. You find a lot of different options here. What does this one come with? Well, this reel weighs in at 7 ounces. It's got 7 plus 1, so 8 total bearings. It holds 110 yards of 12-pound mono, so pretty normal size spool. Now you'll notice I have the 7.5 to 1 gear ratio. That's the only gear ratio that this comes in. So it does come in a left or right-handed version, but only the 7.5 speed. It's got a graphite star drag here, which does not click, and it does put out 15 pounds of drag. So again, pretty decent drag. Spool tension knob here you can see does not click, but it does have a very good firm turning. That's all I care about. I don't care if they click or not, as long as it's not super easy to move. And you can see here, this is not. You actually really have to grab it and give it a good turn there to get it to go, which I like. It's got a 95 millimeter handle, so I like that. It's not the, I think Lew's used to use like the 90 millimeter or even smaller. But the 95 millimeter I think is a good size. It does come with what they call the combat grips. So that same paddle style type that Lew's uses, but they have like, I guess kind of a raised bumpy texture on them, which does help a little bit. I like it better than just the regular slick. And it also has that on the thumb bar as well, which I actually do like instead of just the regular hard plastic. I like that. Brakes are nice and easy to use. These are the Lew's MCS, the magnetic control system, which means that, well, if I can get this off here, usually it's pretty easy to get off. There we go. It means it just has the regular magnetic brakes. You can see the 5 magnets there. Very easy, very simple to use. Oh, I'm sorry, I should have showed you this. When you take it apart, it's got the little, I guess, bar or whatever there. Just grab that with your thumb and pull it out, and then this just rotates up. And that's how you get that off. So I do like that. Easy for newer folks to use, comes right off. I did lose the Lew's sticker there. I don't know, maybe they need to change their adhesive or something, but there's a little Lew's emblem that goes there. Anyway, nice and easy to use. You can see there it's got the max of 10, min is down here. I have noticed with some of the Lew's baitcasters, you do have to have them up a little bit more. So this one I've noticed I've used it more on like 9 or 10. Not necessarily a bad thing, just something to be aware of. And with this here, I do keep my spool tension. You probably can't hear it. Just barely a little bit of side-to-side movement. So I'm trying to get the max distance I can. If you would turn your spool tension up a little bit more, you'd probably be able to turn your brakes down. But when I set it up this way, I'm usually able to get the most casting distance. Now this reel does come with an all graphite frame and graphite side plates. So it's not an aluminum framed reel, which is actually commonly what you find at $100. And that's the thing that, you know, I kind of wondered about with this. How does it compare to some of the other similar reels, especially within the Lew's lineup? And my biggest question was, not that guy, but this guy. One of my absolute favorite $100 reels, an absolute workhorse, just the regular Lew's LFS speed spool. This is like, I don't know, 6, 7 years old now? I don't even know. You can see it's been through the ringer. I've used it a ton. I was super excited when I got it. It was my first like $100 reel. It's done great. You know, I kept good care of it. Still, listen, well, you're hearing that. Still smooth, still works well. I still even used it this year a little bit. So just a good all-around performing reel at $99. So you're looking at, you know, basically the same brakes, slightly larger spool capacity. So this does weigh just a tiny bit more. It's also got 2 more bearings in it. This is a total 10 bearing system. Same 15-pound drag in the newer ones. This is an older model, so I don't think it doesn't have the 15-pound drag. I forget what it is, 13 maybe, I don't know, but I lock it down. I've never had an issue with it. I locked that baby tight and used it for frogging and lighter frogs and stuff, and it always worked well. Never had any slipping, breaking, grinding. It held up to the test. But where I think this is almost more relatable or closer to the Classic Pro. Now this one actually we can test. Let's see. Take that off, and I'm guessing, what do you know? It is the exact same size, exact same. So that's what had me kind of questioning this. Whoops, and darn it. There we go. Interesting. So you can see there, it's the exact same frame, exact same reel as the Classic Pro. Interesting. I wondered that when I picked it up and was using it. So with the Classic Pro, you're looking at a $59 reel versus a $99 reel in the Mach Smash. So it's not necessarily a good thing or a bad thing. I think the big deal with this is, generally, I think people are buying this in the combo. So for like $20 more, you actually get the rod and reel combo. And I've used it and it feels pretty good. The actual combo itself doesn't feel bad at all, especially for being, right around $100. The reel itself, it looks very, very similar to the Classic Pro to me. Size and everything, is this a little bit more refined? I don't know. I don't know that there's a big difference, but I have had zero issues with it thus far. You can see after using it a full year, still nice and smooth, and it's not grindy, clicky, and I haven't babied it or anything. It's worked well. Now you compare that to the Custom XP. This is, I think, retails for $120. And really the only big difference with this reel is you can see the side plate comes off a little bit different because it has to house the dual braking system. So it's got the centrifugal brakes here, plus the magnetic brakes on the outside. I think this did come with just a little longer handle. This is an aftermarket loose handle that I put on, but $20 more. And this also has a graphite frame and side plates. So, for $99, it's not been a bad reel at all. I've liked it. I've enjoyed it. It's worked well. It's just interesting how it kind of compares to some of the other Lew's reels in the lineup. Arguably my favorite, around the $100 price point, the regular Lew's Speed Spool LFS. That's something to think about. Speaking of, let's go talk about what I feel are the pros and cons of this reel. Okay, so what do I feel the pros and cons are to this reel after using it for a full year? Well, to me, the biggest pro is it's a very comfortable, familiar feeling reel. It's not, any sort of weird shape. I think it's a reel that'll fit all hand types well. I have pretty average size hands. I can just barely palm a basketball, but holding it like this, fits very well in the hand. It's not big, it's not long, it's not, oddly shaped, just a very normal reel. And I think that kind of goes for the whole reel. It's just kind of a generic do-it-all type of reel. The weight right around 7 ounces. Bearings, just kind of everything. It's a middle-of-the-road reel. And that's, kind of what you expect for something around $99. The other big thing is it's easy to operate. $99, I think that's a great price point for a lot of reels. So I want something that's going to be easy to use. It's not finicky. And after I got this all set up, remember, just those magnetic brakes, that's all you've got to set. They're right there on the outside. After I got this set up and going, no backlash issues. It's not like some of the real cheap reels you get. It seems like they're okay for a little bit and then they're backlash and they're real finicky. This is the standard regular Lew's MCS magnetic brakes. Again, the same ones that you would get on this, the regular Lew's LFS, one of the best workhorse reels around $99. So it's a familiar brake system. The reel itself kind of does everything well. So I think that's the biggest asset to this is it's just familiar. It's a good middle of the road reel. Now where it's not middle of the road is color. And I think that's a big thing, a big buying point, as strange as it may sound, but a big buying point for, maybe even the younger anglers is it's a little bit brighter. It's a little bit different. It's not just your regular, dull black, a kind of dull, boring reel. It's a bright, kind of reddish, orangish color. It stands out. And I think that's the appeal to a lot of people. They like something bright and different. And that's not all bad. If you're a bank angler like me, you set this down in the grass, I think you're a lot less likely to leave this behind as opposed to just an all black combo. So, that bright color may come in handy, but otherwise, no real functional thing. Some people just like brighter, different looking stuff. Okay, so what about the cons? Well, again, the biggest thing that I talked about is why do a $99 reel with a graphite frame? It doesn't make sense to me when you can step over and get this, the Lew's LFS reel, again, arguably one of the best reels at $100 with an aluminum frame. And that's what you're gonna find in a lot of the Baitcasters at $100, an aluminum frame. So I think that's a big deal. I don't know why they didn't just put an aluminum frame on this. If they did, it essentially would have been just a recolored LFS, which I'm fine with. Something a little bit different, a funky color, that's fine, but I'm not sure why the graphite. The other big thing is it's a limited choice. If you want to get this reel, you're only getting that, the 7:5 to 1 gear ratio. That's it. That's all it comes in. As we talked about, as opposed to like the LFS or something, you have a number of different retrieves or gear speeds you can get in those. With this, just the one, 7.5. So in conclusion, I have not had any issues with this reel thus far. It's been a good reel, it's worked fine. No grinding, clacking, weird noises as you saw up close. Still sounds good after using it a full year, haven't even cleaned it. It cast well, it was simple to set up. You don't have to keep opening the side plate, messing with a bunch of settings. It's just a regular, easy to use and operate reel. And again, it's kind of one of those in the middle of the road reels. It's got, you know, pretty average drag, pretty average weight. It does only come in the 1 gear ratio, but I think that's one of the best gear ratios out there, 7.5. A 7-speed is my all-around favorite. But again, I was left scratching my head on why they went with a graphite frame on this. I don't know if it was just to save money, to offset the cost of the color. I have no clue. But the graphite frame is not going to be much of an issue if you're a weekend angler. You know, you only fish once on the weekend or you only fish a couple times a month. You're not going to notice the graphite frame as much, especially if you reserve this type of reel for only things that are not going to, is that a double negative? If you use this reel for things that do not require really hard hook sets where you lock the drag down. So if you use this for things like treble hook lures or single hook lures that have a little lighter wire hook, things where you're going to use the drag, you've got the drag turned down, and when you set that hook or pull into it, that fish wants to take drag, you can let it. Those type of things you're not going to notice as much, and your reel's going to last longer. Now, with a graphite frame reel, if you try to lock down that drag as hard as you can and use it for really hard jig hook sets or really hard frog hook sets, the life of the reel is going to go down. The graphite frame, the graphite side plates, you're going to notice a little bit of twisting and moving. And when that flex happens, that's when things start to get misaligned. You start to get the geary, grindy, scratchy, creaky, clicky. It just doesn't feel right, and a lot of times it'll stop working. So if you reserve this for things where you're not using, you know, as much stress and much as torque on this, it'll last a lot longer. Now, if you happen to be somebody who fishes, you know, 3 to 4 times a week like myself, you fish a good amount, you want to have, you know, kind of an all-around, all-purpose thing where you can have hard hook sets, I would just jump over to the Lew's LFS. Again, a very generic, middle-of-the-road reel, $100 price point, but it's a darn workhorse. So that's kind of where I would end up if you're looking at these two or just, you know, kind of trying to guess. That's where I'd land. But if you don't care about that as much and you're somebody that wants something that looks a little bit different, you know, a brighter color that's going to stand out from all the regular black reels, you can go with this. Like I said, I've used it for those certain techniques and had no issues with it thus far. So that'll do it for me tonight. Comment below and let me know what the next reel you would like to see reviewed would be. I know the SLX DC is going to be coming up soon. I've had a bunch of people asking for that. Do you like that one, Stubbs? Should we do the SLX DC review next? Maybe the Lew's KVD. I've had a number of people asking about this one. I'm going to do that one soon, kind of a first impressions. Haven't got to use it for a long amount of time, but so far I'm really liking it. Or if there's something else out there you want to see reviewed, just comment below and let me know. But tonight's subscribe fishing friend shout out goes to 570 Bassin. Thank you, sir, for watching and commenting, and thank you everybody else for the continued support. It really does mean a lot to me. But I need to get the rest of this edited and up so you can see it tomorrow. So thank you all for watching, and until next time.